Hey everyone, Mango7Roll here. How we doing today? Welcome to another episode of 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross. We're going to show you how to pretty easily take down the hard version, also the normal version, and to an extent the extreme version of the Red Demon Deathmatch thingamajig. There's a couple ways to do it. One, you can solo it like I am kind of doing it. Not necessarily solo, but I do it with AI. And another is you can do it with just anybody on your friends list. So we're going to show you the way I personally do it when I'm not wanting to find another party member. I'm specifically using Gustav to help support. He's just the best person ever for this because, wow, I should give him some gear, lol. Because he has a freeze on his skill 1, just on his bronze card there. The other person, pretty much every single team should have, is going to be the blue king you get from story. He doesn't need to be UR or anything like that. And the reason is his skill 2 card does have the Petrify for 1 turn. That's the entire idea behind this. As for DPS, I personally am using my Jericho, who has color disadvantage. I see a lot of people using the Story DN, also using the Red Lizhawk. There's a ton of different things you can use there. And honestly, like, I don't really worry about the DPS part too much because it doesn't really matter, to be honest. So we're going to go into the 20 stage deathmatch, and if you want to know how to get these to spawn, you need to be in chapter 5 story, I believe, to have them unlocked, and then you are going to have to do boss stages until they spawn. It does explain it in the tutorial there. So again, we have 2 ways to do this. We can invite some friend arenos here, or we can just do it with AI. So we're gonna just choose somebody's AI here. Let's use Karina's AI here. And with my team here, my goal for my team is basically to entirely lock down the boss. You know, that's my entire goal. So the last card of all of this is just to petrify or freeze them. And if you're with a party, another playable character, you do have the chance to actually have 2 people freeze. But with my team, with Gustav, I have 2 freezes. So I have a pretty easy time locking it down. And letting my teammate do teammate things. It's also important to try to save as many petrifies as you can for phase 2 because that's when the actual damage is done. You should be able to tank like one hit in first phase. So we're just gonna let him do all the things they need to do. So this is the card we're looking for here. This is one of my freeze ones, and this one we need to combine into 2 to get freezing. So we are just going to do damage for now and toss in a freeze. And if there's ever a point where the AI ends their turn in a freeze, we're going to take that turn to kind of combine our cards and just try to prepare for the future, you know, like that's our safety turn. And you can see once we end up with a freeze there, nothing happens to him. He doesn't do anything. So we can just use another turn here, and you can see the AI decided to select a freeze. So we're actually going to take this turn to just do a little bit of combining here and limit our cards so we have a couple more we can pick up next turn and maybe have a better opportunity for a freeze. And again, this is way easier with a friendo if you want to go with a friend. If you're doing public versions of this, a lot of people use emotes. So for example, right now I can freeze the boss. I would open up my emote section and do this. Whenever you see somebody do this, that means they want to take the last turn and use their one second here. I gotta figure out what to use. They want to use the last turn and they want to petrify. So use that turn to do some damage and have them petrify instead. So we're just going to combine some cards here and then use this one, and that way we have a freeze for next turn as well. And if we don't have a freeze, we can just hit this one here. This means obviously you don't have a petrify ready. So if somebody does that to you, that's when you want to make sure you get the last petrify in so the enemy doesn't do anything big. So we'll see what they do here. So he's doing some shenanigans. I'm just going to use some alts here. I don't necessarily always like doing this because it's better to save for the second phase a lot of times. Guy does some sick damage, by the way. I love that animation. That's so cool. Also, when you're transitioning him onto phase 2, you do not need to freeze that turn. So you can just push him down and kill him instead of using one of your petrifies. I probably should have done that here because I think he's gonna die, but I don't think it matters too much. Yeah, this is definitely... Actually, it might not. My Gustav doesn't do the most. Yeah, so we can use this turn right now since the boss is at 0 HP to combine some cards and just get ready for next turn. Yeah, I'm just gonna combine what I can here. I'm gonna put that over here because the boss is gonna die right from this anyway. And once we get into phase 2, that's when he starts to kind of do a little more damage, you know? Also, in 24 hours from this video, we're going to be getting the next raid boss out too. And hopefully I get to do that with some of y'all too. It's a lot of fun to do this on stream with people and kind of learn how to do it. I don't know where I would be without my stream saving me, to be entirely honest. So they honestly ended it here with a Petrify, so I'm going to use this turn to combine a little bit, just because I feel like that's safer right now, just to save a little bit, to save some Petrifies. And honestly, you can do this with Extreme as well, but sometimes I let turn slips through like this, and if I let a turn slip through in Extreme, I am super dead, so that's why I don't do that here. And we actually don't have a Petrify for next turn, so we really need to pick up some Bronze Freeze cards or the Bronze King card. Bouncy, bouncy! I love this. This is one of my favorite combinations here. I just like love this attack. It's so cool. Like right there, the little smile. It's so awesome. And even with our Jericho being color disadvantaged, she still does quite a bit of damage, you know, like hopefully she crits here. The combo attacks are so good. I love it. Yeah, no crit, 21k damage, it's still fine. Okay, so we are hoping we get a freeze here. We did get a freeze. Okay, we're set, we're set. I was a little worried there. So we're actually gonna do... We're gonna use this. Yeah, we're gonna do this. We want to use as many cards as we can, so we get as many cards back the next turn, right? So even though this heal this heal green thingy from our king isn't doing anything, it just doesn't matter. We just want to get rid of the card. I will skip this just for video's sake. I personally never skip animations, so... Almost dead here too, and this is really slow, by the way. Like with real DPS, you're fine, but my team isn't the greatest at DPS. So we are just going to... Let's just use that just to get rid of it, and we will do a single... No, we're gonna do this one. The reason being, if I used the small freeze one there, I might have spawned a regular King's Freeze Petrify thingy and combined, and we don't want them to combine. Do not want them to combine. Oh yeah, we're skipping animation, sorry. I'm like, yeah, this is awesome! And you guys are like, just quick with the video, Mango. So we have one freeze. Yeah, we're totally fine, we're totally fine. And again, like I said, I have URs right now, but it doesn't even matter. These could be like level 1 SRs right now because they don't care whatsoever about how much damage they do, right? Or how much damage they take. They just freeze the entire time. That's the whole point about all of this. Yeah, we'll do this. And he should be dead next turn. So yeah, if you want to practice doing this, trying to learn how to do this, this is a good way to do it, and this functions almost entirely the same when you're with a party. The only difference is you're going to be using emotes to communicate with each other. So keep that in mind as you're doing this, and you'll have pretty easy time. Most teams I see only have one king each, so they don't have the gusto of doing the extra freezing. So you might have to tank an ability here or there, but again, with 2 kings, you both probably have heals saved up, and you will be absolutely fine like that. Skipping animation, Mango. So yeah, that's the boss. And again, you can do this 5 times a day as a host, and as many times as you want without a host, joining friends a day. And the host bonus, you do get this extra red chest right here. But otherwise, it's about the same. And again, to spawn these, if you're curious, Chapter 5, you need to have them unlocked, and then you go over to the battle. The battle menu here, click on boss battle. Stomp 'em, Hawk's mama. So we go to battle here. Click on boss battle, and you can see there's a percent system here. You just have to fight things in these individual sections to get them to spawn. So I hope this helped you out. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe as always, and I will talk to you folks later. Bye, everybody.